Hello, hello.
Hi,
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. We're glad to have you all back here. And as Joy mentioned, happy Thanksgiving. It's happy Thanksgiving to you and
Yes.
everyone else. Lots of excitement coming on this week, and lots of opportunities to practice what we've been preaching over the past couple of weeks. So, I hope that we will do you proud, and I hope you will do us proud
Mhm.
this week by enjoying, first and foremost, enjoying yourself, but trying to keep it within limits. So definitely lots of exciting things happening this week. A lot of things exciting happening in the coming weeks as we get up to the holiday season with in particular
Mhm.
Christmas. Kathleen, now that Halloween is over, she's all about Christmas, all about Santa,
Yep.
and all about pushing those boundaries to see what kind of limits she can push
Mhm.
and still get presents. Um, but that's just pretty normal for anybody who works with children. So glad to have you here with us, Joy and Radina and Ladell on Instagram and all of those other people. We have lots of regulars joining us again. So we're happy to have you here.
Mhm.
We've got a really good topic that we want to talk to you about. And I will let Courtney introduce that for
Yes.
us.
Tonight we're talking about fueling your body for exercise because you cannot just exercise and not change the way you're eating. And there's multiple reasons which we will go over. But we're just going to talk about different ways to fuel your body
Mhm.
for movement and exercise.
Actually, absolutely, and we will talk about kind of the benefit to exercise. But when you exercise, that definitely is going to change the amount of food you end up eating. Sorry, we had a little
Our cats are having
cat
a tiff
spat.
behind us.
But yes, so the whole goal, the primary goal, really around or the way to lose weight is ultimately comes down to a caloric deficit. So as long as you eat less than you expect, or eat less than you expend, then you lose weight.
Mhm.
But you can't really just have the calorie deficit and then not do any kind of exercise. Granted, the amount of exercise you do doesn't have to be amazing, but the key benefit to having an active lifestyle is to help keep the metabolism up, which will help you lose your weight.
Yes, and we have multiple like blog posts about exercise and movement and ways to get it in even for beginners,
Mhm.
or just someone that's not able to, like if you are for some reason can't walk very long or just can't move. We have multiple topics on that. So you can go back on YouTube
Mhm.
and see those. And I think we just did one just a few weeks ago actually.
Mhm.
So if you do want to see different ways, ideas, to just get extra movement in.
Mhm. So with that being said, when you do a lot of exercise and you burn a lot of extra calories, you do need to increase how much you eat because you can't have too much of
Mhm.
of a deficit. Otherwise, that is really just not healthy for you because you need fuel for energy.
Yes, and I've seen people that are like, I'm going to move my body, but I'm not going to eat any extra so I can lose more. And it doesn't really work that way.
Mhm.
What's going to happen is you're going to lose your muscle. And that's not going to really
Um,
help you because the more muscle you have, the more you burn.
mhm.
And it's just so you need that
That's
muscle.
why we're big encouragers of people to try strength training because the more muscle mass you
Mhm.
have, the easier and more efficiently your body burns calories. So that's definitely going to be helpful there too. But also the other end of the spectrum is if you do not give your body extra fuel that it needs to do the exercise, you also
Hmm.
more likely to binge. We've talked about this about depriving yourself of the things that you want. Your body needs extra fuel if you're going to be extra active, so you might be more inclined to binge.
Yes, I actually, when we started doing our morning workouts, because we normally work out in the afternoon, when we started doing our workouts in the morning, I noticed like I was like a bottomless pit throughout the day. I needed more food.
Hmm.
I guess when I was working out in the evening, I didn't notice it as much because I was working out like 3 or 4 hours before bed. But when I'm working out first thing in the morning, like I couldn't pack enough food for the day because I needed more food.
Hmm.
So you do need more food when you do exercise and move your body, especially if you're going to be doing that earlier. So like I said, we're going to talk about some ways to make sure you're getting the proper foods for an exercise. The first thing is if you are a meal planner, that is amazing because then you can plan your day around that.
Hmm.
It's a great idea to plan your day around your workout. This helps you know what you need to properly fuel your body leading up to a workout. and after workout, because
Mhm.
we will talk about these things, but there are certain foods you need before workout, after workout, during. And so if you are a meal planner, you kind of know, okay, if I'm going to work out tomorrow around 4, I need to plan for this certain kind of meal or snack around 2 or 3. So
Yes, Jody mentions on Instagram that that she took a week off from the gym and she's 2 days into the break and she misses it so much. Our
yes.
body tends to crave some our first couple of days for our breaks. We tend to enjoy it, but our body does
Mhm.
get used to the exercise, and so our body craves that. And I'm like, I want to go for
I
a
was
run, even though I'm not a
actually just
runner.
thinking today, like, because we just haven't had very much time to go to the gym. And I like literally was thinking today, I miss the gym. Like, I need to go back to the gym. I miss it. I never thought I would miss the gym. You used to have to force me to go to the gym. And now I'm like, I want to go back. I miss it.
Yes, absolutely. So your body gets used to that, and it's good to take a break, but it's definitely good to have that feeling because that gives us the encouragement to want to make sure we go back to the gym. And hi, Cherry,
Yes. Thank you, Terry.
glad to have you here with us this evening.
Yes. But with the meal planning, like we just mentioned a few minutes ago, the more active you are, the more calories you will need. So keep that in mind while meal planning. Make sure you plan
Mhm.
for some extra calories. Maybe add an extra meal, an extra snack, just something of that nature, to make up for those extra calories that you will need.
But still, just make sure that even with that, make sure you're still on a deficit because you don't want to overcompensate.
Hmm.
But definitely you are going to need more calories
Hmm.
if you
Yes.
work out more.
So 2 to 4 hours before you work out. And like I get it. Sometimes I'm like at like just on a whim, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the gym and I didn't plan it out. So you can't always do this. But if you do have like a very strict
Mhm.
schedule, or like we normally go to the gym either in the morning, and it's if you are working out first thing in the morning, you can't really do this. But like if like we normally, if it's not in the morning, it's gonna be around like 4 in the afternoon. So we can know around 2 to do this. So around 2 to 4 hours before you work out, eat a meal or a snack that has complex carbohydrates, and some protein, and as low fat as possible, because that's going to help you sustain your energy. And the complex carbs, they're harder for your body to break down, which will create sustained energy,
Mhm.
which will come into play when you do work out.
Mhm.
They help you have your energy for longer periods of time.
And the great thing about the complex carbs is it also reduces the sugar spike as well.
Mhm.
It physically takes more time, and actually, I'm sorry, our camera's doing funny things.
It's this new phone.
Well, it's not the new phone. It's just we're moving in and kind of adjust with this. But it actually takes calories to digest complex carbs just because your body has to work harder to break them down.
Thank you, Barbara. Sorry, I just read her
Oh
comment.
yes,
Sorry.
absolutely. So Lodell started doing a weighted hula hoop, and she's really liking it.
We know Joy does that
Joy
too.
is a really big advocate for the hula
We've
hooping.
we keep saying we want to get one and we just haven't. But I do feel like I would like it.
Our room is just not really cluttered, so we had to figure out something so we're not whacking into things.
Yeah. That would
But
be
yes, we've heard lots of really good
Mhm.
comments about those.
Yes, but back to complex carbs. Some examples are oatmeals with fruits and nuts, grilled chicken with rice and vegetables, whole wheat toast with eggs. But those are things that's going to help you have energy for longer periods of time.
Hmm. Absolutely. And then 30 to 60 minutes before you work out, and you can do this if you do have a morning workout. If you've got do this before you start getting ready, and then start getting ready, and then go to the gym. Have a smaller, easily a digestible snack with simple carbohydrates. So those simple carbohydrates, that could be like a cracker, or some crackers, or some chips. Or some gummies that have a little bit of sugar in them. Those types of things your body can turn into energy faster, and then that'll give you the little boost you need to get started. And then you can get into your workout, and those complex carbs will give you the energy you need to sustain that.
Yes, but when it comes to carbs, carbs give you energy. If you are on the keto plan, there's something your body does that when you don't have carbs, it uses fats for those energies.
Ketosis.
Ketosis. I honestly don't know much about that. So right now we're talking about the carbs. Um, I was told from an old coach that if you go off plan or just have like a weekend where you're eating a ton of stuff or eating a ton of sugar, use those carbs to fuel your workouts.
Hmm.
Like, don't just let that go to waste. I have some of my best workouts on days that I ate like garbage because of all those
Mhm.
carbs.
Yep.
Like they give me such an energy boost during my workout. That does not mean to go out and eat crazy. But if you do, use those carbs to your advantage and have like an amazing workout afterwards.
Mhm. And Barbara asked if we were using an iPad. We're actually using my Mac, but we're using the camera from my iPhone because it's a better camera, and it's the feature, and it probably does it on the iPad. It's called Center Stage, where if you move a little bit,
Mhm.
it can adjust for you, just a little bit. But sometimes it has phantom adjustments. It just maybe the features are not quite worked
Mhm.
out, but in general, it usually doesn't do a whole lot of moving around on us. But for
Mhm.
some reason tonight it is a little bit. So hopefully it doesn't make anybody seasick.
Yes. But the simple carbs, they provide rapid, short-lived energy.
Hmm.
So they're better right before a workout. Unlike the complex carbs that are going to help you for hours, this is only going to help you for 30 to 60 minutes.
Hmm.
Be careful with the amount that you do have though, because these are the kind of carbs that can cause a sugar spike. So if you're
Hmm.
diabetic, have insulin resistance, anything like that, you do need to be careful about how much simple carbs you have, even if it is before a workout, because it will cause it to spike. Now, if you do have a spike, I have heard that exercise does help bring it down.
Hmm.
So, but examples of simple carbs is a banana, piece of fruit, smoothie, milk, crackers. Um, but also with your working out, avoid foods that are higher in fat and fiber because they do take longer to digest and they can cause some stomach discomfort during a workout.
Absolutely. So you don't want the fiber is definitely very, very important to have, but it's also important to not have that right before you work out.
Mhm. And that's why I talked earlier about meal planning if you know you're working out, because you can plan your fiber in other meals instead of right before a workout.
Absolutely. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, yes.
So now we're going to talk about during the workout.
Yes. So during the workout, you want to make sure you stay as hydrated as possible because ideally during your workout, you're going to be working up a little sweat.
Mhm.
And doing that, you're going to be expending some of the moisture that you have inside your body. So you want to make sure you stay as
Mhm.
hydrated as possible during your workout too, not just afterwards, but specifically during it
Mhm.
too.
Yes, I tend to forget to drink water during my workout. So now like every 5 minutes during a workout, I make myself take like a massive gulp of water.
Mhm.
Like it has to last at least 5 seconds long. But every 5 minutes, just because for some reason when I'm moving my body, I just forget to drink water. So if you need to do something like that, you can even like implement it into your workout like I do. Like every 5 minutes, like I'm gonna drink some water. And it does help because I do tell a difference when I'm not drinking water during a workout from when I am. And my workout is so much better and I do feel better because sometimes if you don't have enough water, you can feel lightheaded
Mhm.
or you just don't have the energy that you need, because that does help have energy as well.
Absolutely. Um, if you're going to be working out for more than what was it, an hour, it is also going to be really important to make sure you bump up your carbs. Depend for what was the amounts there?
It says 30 to 90 grams, but I don't think that matters as much. Um, that's a lot of carbs. Let's not say 30 to 90. I think that might be a typo. But just if you are exercising for more than an hour, eat some carbs. Simple carbs at that. One good thing to do is if you have like a Gatorade or something, because that's going to also help rehydrate you while also giving you some of those simple carbs for your workout.
Yes, Gatorade. Gatorades, at least the ones that are not zero, they have carbs in them
Mhm.
along with electrolytes to help you absorb that water into your system.
Yes, and I know sometimes we shy away from any kind of drinks that have sugar in them, but if you are working out for a longer period of time, it might be a good thing to have something like that because it will give you those simple carbohydrates to help fuel the rest of your workout while also giving you the electrolytes to help hydrate your body.
Because depending on our time, we sometimes will like to go 30 to 40 minutes using strength training, and then 45 minutes to an hour on the treadmill.
Mhm.
Now, granted, we don't usually go super duper fast during that time frame, but that's still, about an hour and a half worth of exercise,
Mhm.
and that's a pretty significant amount of energy expenditure there. So you want to make sure that you are giving yourself the fuel that you need to make it through those workouts.
Yes. Excuse me, sorry. And then after your workout, within an hour, make sure you eat a snack or a meal with a mix of carbohydrates and protein to help with muscle recovery. Protein is very, very, very important after
Very.
a workout, especially if you're doing something like strength training. You do still need protein if you're doing cardio, but if you're doing strength training, protein is so important afterwards
Hmm.
because it's gonna help with the muscle repair and recovery. And if you're not having enough protein, you're gonna lose muscle instead of gain muscle. And we
Hmm.
talked about that earlier, but you want to make sure that you're keeping your muscle instead of losing it because when you lose weight, you sometimes lose your muscles.
Hmm.
So having
So
that
minimize
protein,
that.
yes,
Mm.
it will minimize.
Because when you do exercise, and in particular strength training, what you're doing is you're basically putting little tears and little rips in your muscles. That's why they're a little bit sore afterwards. And what you do when you're building muscle is those little tears get filled with new protein and new muscle fibers, and so you actually gain muscle mass that way. And if you don't consume enough protein in your diet, you're not going to be able to fill in those tears um, uh, accurately enough to build muscle, and therefore you might lose muscles.
Hmm. Yes, and for you can aim for specific carb to protein ratios. For muscle repair, they suggest a 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 carbs for every protein. Um, Something great for that is like chocolate milk or something of that nature. But if you are a high endurance athlete, like someone that like a marathon runner or
Hmm.
something, they actually suggest a 4-to-1. So 4 carbs for every protein.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind the ratios because you can have the carbs, but make sure you're having protein to kind of compensate for that.
And granted, if you're doing a lot of exercise, like if you know the urge to go run a marathon, having those carbs, you're gonna burn those carbs in that exercise.
Yes, and our favorite thing to have after an exercise, because when I exercise, I just don't feel like having food afterwards. I just don't. Our favorite is a protein shake. This is our like
Newest favorite.
hyperfixation right now. It is the Sam's. It's literally a Fairlife dupe, you guys. It's vanilla, but this one has 150 calories, and 30 grams of protein. And this is like one of our favorite things to have after a workout because for some reason working out just makes me not hungry.
Hmm.
I just don't want food like within like 30 minutes of a workout. So a protein shake is great to have. I know people like protein, protein, protein. It really like you really do need to up your protein,
Hmm.
especially after workout to help with that muscle repair so you're not losing it because like we said earlier, the more muscle you have, the more you're going to lose because you're burning more calories while you're just sitting there.
Hmm. Yeah. Muscle burns calories even at rest versus not. So the more muscles you have even at rest, you have a higher what they call a basal metabolic rate. So that basically is how many calories you can burn when at rest. That will be higher when you've got more muscle mass. So we've got to make sure that we replace and build those muscles. So gotta have protein to fill it in. Joanna mentioned on Facebook that she made a bagel from a keto recipe book, and that sounds kind of
I think that's
intriguing.
good. Hmm.
I love bagels.
I've been really wanting a cinnamon bagel. Fun fact. Wonder if I can make that like lower sugar.
Probably could.
Probably could.
Awesome.
Anyways, but with that, throughout the whole day, if you're exercise, even if you're not exercising, you need to make sure you're rehydrating your body.
Mhm.
Make sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day to rehydrate yourself after moving your body because not just you don't just need more calories if you're moving your body, you also need more water.
Mhm.
You're gonna sweat, and I'm not a sweater, but like I still definitely can tell that I need more water
Mhm.
after moving my body. So make sure you're getting enough water throughout the day.
Mhm. And I've read somewhere, I don't know how 100% accurate it is, but your body can only process so much water at a time. So if you go 3 or 4 hours without having any water, and then you go into work out, you're not really going to be able to adequately
Mhm.
hydrate yourself enough for that. If you're behind in your hydration, so that's why it's important. And we've been kind of a little bit more focused on trying to get better at hydrating, but that's why it's important to hydrate throughout the day so that when you get to your workout, your
Mhm.
activity, you're already hydrated, and then try to hydrate as much as you can while you're doing the activity, and then afterwards you can continue the hydration. Hydration is very, 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 very important. That also helps aid in the recovery of your
Mhm.
muscles because your muscles will draw water towards it and kind of hold it in there, and that helps. the recovery
Yes.
process.
I also like when it comes to the water, on days that I work out, I do like to have, I don't even know if you can see those.
Yep.
They're from Dollar Tree, you guys, and they have it's not just this brand, like any of the hydration, like Liquid IV, any of them. I like having these on days I work out because it helps replenish the electrolytes that you do lose.
Mhm.
You do lose electrolytes while you're working out
Oh,
because you
yes.
are sweating and things of that nature. So anything like this really does help. There are so many different flavors. But it's practically just helping. It's almost like a Gatorade.
Bye, Joy. Have a good
Bye,
night.
Joy. But it's almost like a Gatorade,
hmm
and it's
I've had one of those today just because I was behind in my water to help kind of help my body absorb it.
yes. So make sure you're getting your electrolytes as well, not just your water,
hmm
but electrolytes. Because with the electrolytes, that's also like salt and a few other things. Salt is not the devil. People act like it is. It's too much salt. So make sure you are getting some sort of salt because you need that. Your body needs that, and make sure you're replenishing the electrolytes and everything else in your body.
Absolutely. All right, so now on to one of the more tasty aspects of our night. So Courtney is going to share a recipe that is absolutely delicious, and can't wait to make it again. It's been a little while.
I actually did this one because this is something good to have either before or after a workout. Because it doesn't have a massive amount of protein in it, but it does have, pretty decent amount of protein. But these are protein peanut butter balls. They are pretty good. You need a half a cup of stevia sweetened milk chocolate baking chips. We use the Lily's. But Kroger has their own, like a lot of stores are coming out with their own like generic brand, but like basically Lily's milk chocolate chips. 2 scoops of vanilla protein powder. We normally do when I did this recipe, it was Premier Protein, but any kind of vanilla protein powder that you want to use. Half a cup of powdered peanut butter, half a cup of water, and a half a tablespoon of coconut oil. I will explain why you need the coconut oil in a moment. But mix together the powdered peanut butter and protein powder. Now, this might not be sweet enough for your liking. The milk chocolate will help that, but if you need to add some sort of like Splenda or something to that, you totally can do that. But mix the powdered peanut butter and protein powder together. Add water, but a little bit at a time until you get a consistency, kind of like almost like a cake ball consistency. Roll the peanut butter mixture into 8 balls. Melt the chocolate chips with the coconut oil. The coconut oil is going to help it solidify faster and better afterwards. But
Fun fact: that's the secret ingredient to the magic shell ice cream topper.
Yes, you can make your own magic shell if you just add coconut oil to chocolate. Fun fact. But anyways, dip the peanut butter balls into the melted chocolate and coat it. Place it on wax paper and place it in the refrigerator or freezer for at least 30 minutes until it's set. You can add like fun sprinkles or things like that to it. You can add like a white chocolate drizzle, anything to make it fun and fancy. You can do that. But this is between 2 and 4 bites, depending on your plan. 120 calories and 7.8 grams of protein.
Which is quite delicious.
And 7.7 net carbs.
And then, fun fact: if you're lazy and like I am half the time, you could probably put this in spread this in a pan, and then pour the melted chocolate on top, and then let that set, and it would kind of be like a more a healthy Buckeye fudge.
Ooh, now that kind of makes me want to try that.
Yep, which is quite delicious. So you just put it in the pan, chill it, and then you can cut it up and serve it in squares.
Yes, but remember, if you do want it sweeter, you can add anything like Splenda, sugar, whatever you want to make it sweeter. But the milk chocolate will help with the sweetness factor.
Yes, absolutely. So we will be back at it next Tuesday. I'm not seeing any events in our calendar, so we'll be back next Tuesday. So if you're in the States, have a wonderful,
have a happy
wonderful
Thanksgiving. Remember to allow yourself to enjoy it.
Yes.
One meal, one day is not going to ruin all of your progress. Just let yourself have fun and have what you want.
And if you're not in the States, sorry?
Have a great Thursday.
Yeah, have a happy Thursday.
And Wednesday and Friday. Just
exactly. Happy all the days, regardless of whether it's a holiday or not. So thank you all so much for joining us this happy Tuesday night. we will be we'll see you next week. But yes, Carla asked
It
about
will be posted.
yes, it will be posted on Facebook, on Instagram, but it'll also be on Healthy's blog too. So
And YouTube.
and
It'll be on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes, so if you didn't get a copy of this recipe, it'll be posted there. But the easiest place will probably be to take a look at the blog.
Oh, I thought she meant the blog post. The recipe. Yes, the recipe will be
Well,
posted.
assuming she's talking about the recipe. If you're talking about the recipe, Carla, it will be posted on the blog as well as on Facebook. But this live will be saved as well on YouTube
Yes.
and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So have a wonderful night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.